Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Joel Rosen. I am the Adrenal Fatigue Recovery Ninja, and today I wanted to talk to you about another edition of your Adrenal Fix. I have about 15 minutes between now and my next appointment, and realized I haven't talked to you guys for a while, and I wanted to talk to you about the Vicious 3 and adrenal fatigue. And the reason I wanted to talk to you about it was because I actually bought these mints today. And the reason I bought them is because they said aspartame free. And aspartame is a neurotoxin that's almost everywhere. And so when you elect to do diet colas or Splendas or NutraSweets or Crystal Lights or anything that's diet, it's actually worse than if you were to get the regular sugar-based stuff because of the neurotoxins in the aspartame. So what you do is you go with something like this, and then you read that it's aspartame free. But the problem is when you look at the ingredients on the back, sorry, I'm trying to orientate myself here. Then it says, you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, but it says, you can't really see it, I'm sorry. But it does say that it has natural mint flavoring. Natural mint flavoring. So with that natural mint flavoring, anything that says natural flavoring is going to be MSG, and that is going to create that same neurotoxic impact. So that's really important to learn. Anything that's natural flavoring, anything that's MSG, anything that's aspartame, it's all the same thing. It's very, very neurotoxic, and that's really going to be debilitating to you. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about the three. The first thing I wanted to talk about was infections. And when we talk about infections, we're talking about inflammation. So whether these infections are H. pylori infections, or they are any type of microbial overgrowth or candida or yeast or nanoparticles or mycotoxins, things that we get from our immunizations, sexual transmitted diseases, chlamydias, all of these things are going to be infections in the body, where there's viruses, or there's parasites, or there's amoebas, or there's giardia, or there's blastocysts. All of these infections are going to create a lot of inflammation. As a result, a lot of that is going to create some neurotoxicity, and that's going to happen as a result of the excito-toxins. And those are going to be the neurotransmitters. So these neurotransmitters are going to bombard the cell because of the inflammation and the infections and the reactive oxidative species. And what happens is it overstimulates the cell to death. And as a result, that will create more infections or more inflammations, and then the more inflammation is going to create more neurotoxicity, and then more neurotoxicity is going to create more inflammation, and more inflammation is going to create more excitotoxicity. So if you're taking natural sweeteners, or you're taking MSG, or you're taking aspartame, or you're saying it says no aspartame but it says natural flavors, to me that's a crime. A company shouldn't be allowed to say, hey, there's no neurotoxins in here, but there's neurotoxins. And that's what it says if there's no aspartame but there is MSG in there, or natural flavors. So where does that come in? The triad is going to be cell energy, because ultimately we're talking about the adrenals not being able to settle inflammation because it's just drained, and the feedback loops get broken, and the HPA axis falls apart. The cells get oxidized, and the cell membranes stop working, and you don't need a lot of neurotoxins or neurotransmitters to overexcite the cells. It's going to be overexcited with very little, and that's why it's very difficult to be calm and to relax and have your serotonin working properly, so that we feel contentment and we feel satisfied and we feel like we are just adaptive and comfortable and calm and relaxed and feel cool and collective, and we're in sympathetic overdrive. As a result, that cell gets bombarded, and we ultimately have overwhelming mitochondrial fatigue. So some of the things that I tell patients you should be looking at is CoQ10. CoQ10 is actually a double nutrient. It will act as an anti-inflammatory or a antioxidant, but it also is important for cell energy. And so one of the other things I really like to work with is R-alpha lopeic acid. That L form is in that reduced form, and it can be super helpful, especially when you do it with CoQ10, because if you take CoQ10 alone, it's going to be used as an antioxidant. But if you take it with R-alpha lopeic acid, it's going to be used as the energy driver that it's supposed to, because the R-alpha lopeic acid is being used as that antioxidant. The other thing that is really good is NADH. That can be super great, and even creatine can be really great, and even L-carnitine can be really good. Those are going to be really great stuff for the cell energy. The other thing that we really like to look at in terms of the inflammation is going to be bioflavonoids. Bioflavonoids are really high in antioxidants, and that can really help with the inflammatory process. Of course, getting off this junk and getting off stuff that have aspartame or natural flavors is going to create huge problems if you continue taking them. I had a patient today, and she's probably watching. I told her I'm going to do a video of this. I'm not going to mention your name, but she does the LaCroix water, and it's her little treat at night, but it has natural flavors. I mean, there's something fishy about having like lime and watermelon flavors and all these different flavors in your natural water when it's not, there's nothing natural about that, and that's going to be very neurotoxic. So anyways, Lisa, I'm not going to have too much time to answer your questions. Oh my God, yes, this is what happened to me long before my adrenal major neurotoxin reactions I had for, and then I don't see what it says after that. But yes, that is what's going to happen, and then when you look at the whole genetic component on top of all of that, and you have major susceptibilities and absorption issues, and you're overloading the liver because you're trying to take these antimicrobials, and it can't take the lymphatic push that you're giving it, you're just going to continue to recycle this stuff and continue to go snowballing down and create more inflammation, create more neurotoxicity, create more inflammation, create more neurotoxicity, continue to downregulate your cell energy, and then just not want to get out of bed. So hopefully you found that helpful and effective. I got to go now, and I hope you enjoyed this edition of your Adrenal Fix. If you have any questions you want me to answer, let me know, and I'll do my best to help you guys wake up from your adrenal fatigue nightmare. Thank you so much.